Tell me, Maya, do you actually think those bead things you're wearing qualify as fashion? The room roared. Phones came out. Someone zoomed in on Maya's face while she fought the heat crawling up her neck. She opened her mouth to answer anything, but Victoria wasn't done. Everyone give her a hand. It's not every day we let the help play dress up. The applause was mocking, sharp. Maya felt every pair of eyes strip her bare. Ethan finally touched her elbow, but only to steer her away from his mother, not to defend her. Just ignore them, babe, he whispered. They're drunk. But they weren't drunk. They were cruel. And they were winning. Later, when the Harringtons took the stage to unveil their new collection, Victoria's voice rang out again. We have a special treat tonight. Our little guest brought sketches. Maya, darling, come show the professionals what real talent looks like when it tries. Security appeared on both sides. The walk to the stage felt endless. Maya's legs shook so hard she nearly tripped on the hem of her own gown. She laid her portfolio on the podium with trembling fingers. Victoria snatched it, flipped it open, and threw the pages onto the massive screen behind her. Look at these tribal scribbles trying to be couture, Victoria sneered. Cultural appropriation on a budget, everyone. The laughter was deafening. Someone shouted, Go back to the ghetto, sweetheart. Another voice, closer, maybe take the trash out on your way. A rip. The delicate silk of her sleeve tore as she stumbled down the steps. Champagne splashed across the front of her dress. She didn't stop. She ran. Out of the ballroom, past the flashing cameras, into the pouring rain that soaked her to the skin in seconds. The cab driver took one look at her ruined makeup and ruined gown and didn't say a word the entire ride home. Her mother was waiting up, like always. Elena Thompson opened the door, and the sight of her daughter, dripping and broken, made her eyes harden. Maya fell into her arms and sobbed like a child. They hated me, Mama. They hated me because of where I'm from, because of how I look. Ethan just stood there. Elena held her tight, rocking her the way she did when Maya was 5 and kids threw rocks at her for having the wrong color skin. But tonight something shifted in Elena's face. She pulled back, cupped Maya's wet cheeks, and said the words she had buried for 28 years. Baby, listen to me. You're not from the wrong side of anywhere. You are Reginald Blackwell's daughter. Maya blinked through the tears. Who? The richest black man in this country. The man I loved before he became a name on Forbes. The man who never knew I was pregnant because I walked away to protect you from exactly this kind of world. The room spun. Maya sank onto the old couch, the springs creaking under her soaked dress. You're telling me I'm a billionaire's daughter. You're telling me, Elena said, voice shaking with old pain and new fury, that those people just humiliated the one person on this earth who can bury them. The next morning, a black Rolls-Royce waited outside their crumbling apartment building. A driver in a crisp suit handed Maya an envelope. Inside was a single photograph. Her mother, young and laughing, in the arms of a man whose cheekbones and eyes were the mirror image of Maya's own. On the back, in strong handwriting, Blackwell Manor. Today, your father is waiting. She went. The gates opened like a movie scene. The driveway stretched longer than her entire block back home. When the car stopped, the front door opened, and there he stood, tall, silver-haired, immaculate, Reginald Blackwell. The second he saw her face, his eyes filled. My God, he whispered, you're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. He didn't hug her right away. He waited until she decided. When she stepped forward, he wrapped her up like he'd been waiting 3 decades to do it. And Maya cried again, but this time they were different tears. Over coffee in a library bigger than a basketball court, he listened to every detail of the gala. His jaw got tighter with every word. When she finished, he set his cup down slowly. The Harringtons have been trying to take pieces of my empire for 20 years, he said quietly. They pick on people they think can't fight back. Tonight, they picked the wrong one. Maya wiped her face. I don't want your money, Mr. Blackwell, Reginald. Or Dad. Your choice. I don't want handouts, she continued. I just want them to feel what I felt. Reginald smiled for the first time, slow and dangerous. Then we're going to give them exactly that. But first, you're going to learn who you really are. And when you walk back into their world, Maya, you won't be asking for a seat at the table. He leaned forward, eyes blazing. 3 months later, Maya Blackwell walked into the International Fashion Summit wearing midnight blue velvet that moved like water and diamonds that caught fire with every step. No one recognized the woman who once fled a ballroom in tears. Her natural curls were swept into an elegant crown. Her skin glowed under the lights, and the name on the VIP badge around her neck read simply, Blackwell. She felt every stare like electricity on her skin. Ethan saw her first. He was posing for photographers beside Clarissa, the same heiress he'd been kissing behind Maya's back. His champagne flute slipped from his fingers and shattered on the marble floor. Clarissa followed his gaze and went white. Maya didn't even glance at them yet. She glided straight to the front row, where the most powerful editors, investors, and designers sat. A seat had been reserved for her, dead center, gold plate engraved with her name. She sat, crossed her legs, waited. The lights dimmed. The Harringtons took the stage for their big reveal that Victoria's voice rang out, smug as ever. Tonight, Harrington Luxe unveils a Bean Royale, our bold celebration of global elegance. The first look came down the runway. Black silk, intricate beadwork in ancestral patterns. Maya's exact gown from the gala, copied down to the last stitch. The crowd murmured approval. Phones lifted, Victoria beamed. A completely original vision. The massive screen behind her went black. Then one word appeared in blazing white. Fraud. Gasps rippled through the hall. Maya stood. Slowly, every eye followed her. She pressed a small remote in her palm, and the screen exploded with evidence. Side-by-side photos of her original sketches time-stamped months before the Harringtons ever claimed the designs. Factory footage of underage workers in Vietnam stitching the exact gowns on stage. Financial records showing Harrington Luxe paid pennies while marking up prices 5,000%. Then came the personal blow. Screenshots of Ethan's secret offshore accounts. Money siphoned from his own company to pay for Clarissa's Birkins and Mykonos villas. The room erupted. Victoria lunged for the microphone. This is slander. Security, too late. Live feeds from Bloomberg and CNBC were already running the documents. Phones buzzed with breaking news alerts. Harrington stock plummeted in real time on the ticker above the runway. Maya finally spoke, voice calm, crystal clear, amplified through the entire hall. 3 months ago, you dragged me on that stage and called my heritage tribal scribbles. Tonight, the world sees who the real thieves are. She stepped onto the runway itself, heels clicking like gunshots. A Bean Royale isn't yours. It's mine. Every bead, every story woven into the fabric, mine. You stole it the night you humiliated me. Ethan stumbled forward, face blotchy with panic. Maya, please. She looked at him like he was a stranger. You told me we came from different worlds. You were right. Mine has integrity. Clarissa tried to slip away. 2 security guards, Blackwell Security, blocked her path. Victoria screamed, mascara running. You're nobody. You're just some I'm Maya Blackwell. She cut in, voice ringing with pride. Daughter of Reginald Blackwell. And tonight, Harrington Luxe dies. The lights came up fully. Reginald himself walked in from the wings, tall and commanding in a midnight suit. Cameras went wild. He didn't need to say much. He simply placed a protective hand on Maya's shoulder and stared down the entire Harrington family until they shrank. Investors were already tearing up contracts at their seats. Federal agents in suits appeared at every exit, subpoenas in hand. Victoria collapsed to her knees on the runway, clutching at Maya's gown. Please, we'll give you anything. Name your price. Maya crouched so only Victoria could hear. My price was respect. You couldn't afford it. She stood, turned her back, and walked away while the woman sobbed on millions of dollars worth of stolen fabric. Backstage, reporters swarmed. Maya gave them one statement. Tonight isn't about revenge. It's about consequence. You don't get to destroy black women for sport and walk away untouched. Then she launched her own line on the same runway. 10 breathtaking looks celebrating African royalty, designed in partnership with the very artisans the Harringtons had exploited. Every piece sold out in 9 minutes to buyers waving paddles like it was an auction for salvation. The BY morning, Harrington Lux was bankrupt. Assets frozen. Family name toxic. Ethan arrested for embezzlement. Victoria and Lydia photographed, leaving the venue in handcuffs hidden under cashmere coats. Maya didn't watch the news. She stood on the balcony of Blackwell Manor at sunrise with her father on one side and her mother on the other. Elena was crying happy tears. Reginald poured 3 glasses of orange juice like it was champagne. You did it, baby girl, he said. No, Maya answered, looking out over the city that once tried to break her. We did it, and we're just getting started. Later that week, a quiet dinner in a tiny jazz club. No cameras, no security. Just Maya and Jamal, the soft-spoken engineer from her father's company who had asked her for coffee weeks ago, without knowing her last name. He listened to her talk, really listened, then reached across the table and laced his fingers through hers. I don't care about the money or the headlines, he said. I care that you smile like that when you talk about fabric and justice in the same sentence. Maya laughed, light and free for the first time in years. Good, because I'm keeping both. She leaned in and kissed him under the low red lights while the sax player wailed something slow and victorious. Somewhere across town, the Harringtons were selling furniture to pay legal fees. Maya Blackwell never looked back. She had a legacy to build, a father to know, a mother to make proud, and a love that saw her before the world ever did. And for the first time in her life, she knew exactly who she was.